And as we're seeing now, this life cycle is coming to an end, this currency, value, store of value, or digital gold. I know there's a lot of Bitcoin maxis out there that will hate me for saying this, but that just simply is not true. There is no intrinsic value of Bitcoin.
And when I stumbled across this Cloward Piven theory, it just blew my mind. Like, if you read this, you will see this is happening right out from underneath us right now in broad daylight.
The large bullion provider globally, one of the largest bullion providers globally are tokenizing gold, right? And they're utilizing our custody solution to do so.
What is the easiest way to transfer $10 million from Brazil to London? And I put one of the options, like multiple choice, a plane.
Fastest way for us to do it would be to drive to the airport and fly it there.
At this point, maybe public infrastructure will get there one day with things like verifiable credentials, but that path is far away.
You can participate in an automated market maker not just by trading with it, but also by a sort of the equivalent of lending in assets. So remember I said the automated market maker has to have some USD so it can buy XRP whenever someone wants to sell it. And it has to have some XRP so it can sell XRP whenever someone else wants to buy it.
This region has been clearly progressive and leaning into these technologies and taking advantage of those benefits.
On top of what somebody else was building, right? So long term, I think that public blockchains is where the future is and where innovation will happen. And unfortunately, banks have restrictions.
And anyone thinks that Ripple is not 100% behind XRP is just missing. They've lost the plot.
You know what you hold?
Enjoy the ride, pal.
It's the XRP army.
If you got some baggies, welcome to the party. Welcome back to some more Moon o'clock news. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra bullishness. Shout out to that sub. We got Westman Sam in the building. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in, smashing them likies, stuffing some baggies. Go ahead, throw on them moon suits, throw on those pilot shades, and buckle up, because the future's extra bullish. Also, another big shout out to Chris Has Issues with all the gifted memberships and the $300 super bomb. Appreciate you, fam. Go ahead, buckle up, and let's go full speed, full throttle into the cryptoverse. We got the total global cryptocurrency market cap today at 2.46 trillion, down about 1.4% in the past 24. We got XRP in that number, 7 spot right around 55 cents. We got Stellar XLM in the number, 39 spot right around 1111. We got BTC right around 63K, ETH right around 3,000. We got Flare Networks right around 3 cents, Axelar $1.26. We got XDC right around 0.0359, Songbird 0098. We got Stronghold at 006. We got Zahao Networks right around 15 cents. We got Evernode right around 26 cents. Shout out to everybody who came out to XRP Las Vegas and everybody who came out to the 3rd edition Moon Party. Shout out Lady E, Lemmy, Crown Chakra, E4, Berserker holding it down on the main stage. Shout out to everybody who came down to hang out with the Blue Crew, hang out with the Rich Duck fam. Shout out to everybody who came out to the pool party. We'll see you guys for the 4th edition Moon Party in 2025. Appreciate everybody showing all the love and support out there, coming on down to Las Vegas for another one. Another one in the books. We'll see you on the next one. Later, glitches. We got one from a digital asset investor to pop things off. This is what you call putting it in the parking lot in the bottom of the 9th inning in the World Series. Great job, Jennifer Curry, inside baseball. He also says, I got to meet Lynette Zhang, who was great backstage at XRP Las Vegas, and I told her he agreed that Bitcoin was a Trojan horse. She knows.
You have very strong opinions about Bitcoin in particular, do you not? Can you illustrate to me why that is so?
Well, first of all, I love that you're having this conversation. It's really great to see it take mainstream television. It is important. I know a lot of people are concerned about their money, and I think basically it comes back to a very basic fundamental of the life cycles of currencies. And as we're seeing now, this life cycle is coming to an end, this currency. And as history has shown us many years before, we'll always reset back to gold. It will never be Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not scalable. Bitcoin cannot take on the traffic and this whole idea that it's some, value, store of value or digital gold. I know there's a lot of Bitcoin maxis out there that will hate me for saying this, but that just simply is not true. There is no intrinsic value of Bitcoin. I'm a very pro advocate for digital assets in the crypto space. I am extremely pro blockchain, but never Bitcoin. I believe Bitcoin is being used as a trap, another Trojan horse. And as you and I have mentioned many times, I see them manipulating the prices of gold and silver to particularly keep the nominal price down so that banks have the ability to buy in and at these low manipulated prices. And then as you've seen the years of the narrative shift on Bitcoin, Bitcoin's a beta. Bitcoin was introduced after the last 2008 crash. So then we bring in this exercise of digital currency. And at first it was the drug users and the cartel, and now they're picking it up and bringing it into mainstream. And a lot of people bought into the concept that it was outside the system. Neil, you and I know that's just simply not true. It's completely inside the system. When they created a Bitcoin ETF, they created an ability to short the market. They now are controlling the system.
Jennifer, can you explain?
So there's many myths around Bitcoin.
Bitcoin was a demo. You ain't get the memo. We got one from Rob Cunningham. Cool show. Knowledge empowers, ignorance enslaves, truth frees. Fear not.
I think everyone out there needs to Google Cloward Piven, Cloward Piven, Pivan, and read it. It won't take you long. Richard Cloward and Francis Piven were two professors who taught at Columbia University. And they outlined a plan to socialize America by overwhelming the system with government spending and entitlement programs. Ironically enough, Barack Obama, Anthony Bilkin, the current Secretary of State, Bill Barr and Eric Holder, former the head of the Justice Department, Madeleine Albright, former U.S. ambassador to the UN, and Jared Bernstein, the lead economic advisor of the U.S. government. They all went to Columbia. Jared Bernstein is the man who advocates for complete and total loss of the reserve status. It's a privilege we can no longer afford. I've talked at length about this for years. Why else sign an executive order to go green when our relationship with Saudi Arabia and OPEC is the linchpin of the dollar hegemony? And by weaponizing the dollar, well, that's bad enough, but now you have them voting this week on confiscating the Russian assets to give to the Ukraine. That's $380 billion. And we are a country that is viewed wholly hypocritical by much of the world. We just told China that if they give any money to Russia to aid in their war machine or their war efforts, even though they're allies, they too, not only their banks, their corporations, and Beijing itself will be sanctioned. We just said we are going to sanction Pakistan if they build a pipeline to receive oil from Iran. So we go around the world saying, you can't do it, you can't do it, you can't, but we can do whatever we want. And if you do, we're going to sanction you. All of this stuff is happening. And when you talk about Jared Bernstein, who is the architect of losing the reserve status, I've talked at length about all the stuff that's happening here. And when I stumbled across this Cloward Piven theory, it just blew my mind. Like, if you read this, you will see this is happening right out from underneath us right now in broad daylight. And it's interesting that Obama went there and all of the people who are directing this country in the direction went there. Are they advocates of the Cloward Piven theory? Read it. It will blow your mind.
The game's all rigged, but we see their plan. They will never win. We must all unite because we have all the power. Drain the swamp. Free the standard. We got Bank XRP, Ripple, Reese, Merrick at the swell. We announced HSBC is one of the largest gold bullion providers. Is tokenizing gold utilizing Ripple custody solutions.
At Swell last in November, we were able to announce that HSBC, who are the large bullion provider globally, one of the largest bullion providers globally, are tokenizing gold, right? And they're utilizing our custody solution to do so. So, HSBC,
that one.
Pardon, sorry?
The Luxembourg Pro.
Exactly. So we acquired Metaco, enterprise grade custody solution, working with top financial institutions, and from our perspective, it's been a win-win, both taking those customers forward, expanding the business, and being able to drive new business there.
We got the BIS, Bank for International Settlement, to create a coherent version of the future financial system. We'll have to supplement cutting-edge technologies with efficient economical and financial architecture and robust governance and regulatory arrangements. The best is still yet to come. Crawl, walk. Then we rock it. We got one from Mr. Man XRP, Ripple, ex-Bank of America, picks faster payment system. Ripple is not a typical cryptocurrency company. Rather than just creating a digital asset, Ripple aims to revolutionize the global financial system, the XRP. Ripple's cryptocurrency is designed to enable faster and cheaper cross-border payments compared to traditional banking methods.
But we already had close to 40 billion. So the second block is, okay, so now I have the common rail, and I have this new layer that I can put on the top of it that generates competition and openness. So everybody can see the data. You probably will start getting information from the bank that you can do a better product at a different rate in other banks. Pretty soon you're going to be able to consume a product and compare rates for financing real time. So when you have the aggregators, some companies are working on that. So those are two blocks. But then we thought, okay, we need this to be international. And here is a different dimension, which is how can I bring efficiency in the cross-border payments? One thing that I've been BIS for a long time now, and every year there is this talk about, let's do cross payments and we need to improve that and improve, and it's been very slow. So I think one of the things that we central bankers collectively have kind of failed is to design a cross payment system that's very efficient. Not too long ago, if I asked you what is the easiest way to transfer $10 million from Brazil to London, and I put one of the options like multiple choice, a plane, that would be the right choice.
Well, it's interesting as you step back and look at this. If you and I decided we were going to send $10,000 to California today, the fastest way for us to do it would be to drive to the airport and fly it there.
We got XRP drops JP Morgan and Circle on the Unified Ledger by the Bank for International Settlements at the BIS Innovation Summit 2024.
John from the Cambridge Center for Alternative Finance. So the concept of unified ledger has been mentioned several times. Unified ledger include and why? Thank you.
So I think, first of all, because Mr. Carson is sort of the resident host as well, sort of from the country, we have to like unified ledgers. But in all honesty, I think you almost need something like that. I mean, it's actually almost a necessity, because if you look at the public, and I'm sure this is one Dante and I will disagree on, but if you look at the public blockchain ledgers, they are not fit for purpose for large transactions today. And I'll tell you why. Let's say we were doing a transaction worth $100 million and we were sending money, 100 million, let's say ourselves and UBS, just making it up, the two banks. If we are sending 100 million to UBS on Ethereum, there are validators who are validating the transaction. Now, what if something goes wrong? Who do I sue? I mean, you can trust in code all you want, but you can't really go to, there's no code court where you go and have a discussion. And you need those sorts of backups. If someone loses your coat, but you still have the ticket, you want to be able to call someone at the end of the day saying, what the hell, you lost a very expensive coat. So I think at this point, maybe public infrastructure will get there one day with things like verifiable credentials, but that path is far away. And you need to get somewhere where people can do trusted transactions between financial institutions with some sort of accountability in the system. Whether that happens through unified ledgers or otherwise, it remains to be seen. But frankly, unified ledgers, RLN, Mbridge, they're all trying to do this. Frankly, we have another project going on called Global Layer 1 at the MAS with Citibank and others. So they're all sort of shades of the same thing, which is you need some sort of a regulated financial infrastructure, and that financial infrastructure should be open to, public institutions like central banks, should be open to private institutions like banks or non-banks. I mean, it should be the world's global layer for money movement. Otherwise,
We got one from Bank XRP, Ripple, David Schwartz, AMM Lending. Be your own bank by providing liquidity through XRP.
Let's talk a little bit about the importance of automated market makers, also known as AMM. So what is an automated market maker?
So an automated market maker is something that sort of adapts the time between buyers and sellers. These exist in many traditional markets. If you have a broker and you go to buy stock in a publicly traded company like IBM, there is a healthy order book of people who will buy the stock from you and people who will sell the stock to you. And there are professionals whose job is to make sure that that market exists. They trade on the exchanges, and they generally get preferential access to the exchange in exchange for committing to keep those sort of spreads tight on the market. An automated market maker is the decentralized version of the same thing. It's always willing to buy and sell an asset so that if I want to buy an asset today and maybe Rachel wants to sell it tomorrow, I may not want to wait until she's ready to sell, and she may not want to wait until I'm ready to buy. So an automated market maker has a pile of two assets, let's say USD and XRP, and it's always willing to buy XRP, and it's always willing to sell XRP at some price so that other people can trade whenever they want. But there's another important thing about automated market makers compared to like the more traditional market makers. Because the automated market makers are implemented on decentralized blockchains, you can participate in an automated market maker not just by trading with it, but also by a sort of the equivalent of lending it assets. So remember I said the automated market maker has to have some USD so it can buy XRP whenever someone wants to sell it. And it has to have some XRP so it can sell XRP whenever someone else wants to buy it. What an automated market maker does is it makes a return. It generates revenue from various different mechanisms, including the spreads on its trades. And if you lend it your XRP or your USD or both, then you own a sort of share in the automated market maker, and you benefit from the trades that that automated market maker makes.
Yeah, XRP drops Brad Garland House into Dubai FinTech Summit 2024. I really do think if we look out 10 or 20 years, Dubai will be viewed as one of the financial capitals of the globe.
I really do think that if we look out 10 or 20 years, Dubai will be viewed as one of the financial capitals of the globe. This region has been clearly progressive and leaning into these technologies and taking advantage of those benefits.
Dubai in particular has done a great job at attracting talent in. And as a business owner, one of the most important things is going where you can find good talent.
There's been incredible leadership from the top that has recognized the potential in this technology and said, we want this industry to be built here. Dubai is certainly a really exciting city. I've already met a number of people who, 85% expats, like there's a reason they're coming here.
We got one from Faye Moore. Banks aren't allowed to use public ledgers at this time.
We've seen JP Morgan go the route of a private blockchain. For example, what was the decision process in terms of picking public versus private?
Well, so banks are subject to different regulations than, let's say, asset managers or us. We're a registered transfer agent with the SEC and a broker-dealer. We are subject to SEC regulations. Banks are subject to OCC regulations. And currently in the US, the OCC is recommending banks not to use public blockchains as kind of like underlying financial service infrastructure. We don't have the same kind of restrictions. And I do believe that public blockchains is where the innovation will happen because of, the compositability of being able to do things on top of it, etc. If you want to understand the differences, it's similar to when internet started and you have, American Online and MSN that were close. And then you have the public internet, and the public internet is where the innovation happened, right? Because anybody could actually build things on top of what somebody else was building, right? So long term, I think that public blockchains is where the future is and where innovation will happen. And unfortunately, banks have restrictions and they're still trying to be innovative, like JP Morgan with Onyx, but subject to what the regulators allow them to do.
Well, let's talk about the regulators. I'm curious about how.
We got Crypto's TA. If XRP closes a day above this resistance, it could start to get a little pumpy. We got Mustache, Bitcoin. Why is nobody talking about the fact that what the stock RSI is at a level last seen in September 2023? Parabolic curve is characterized by the fact that it becomes steeper and steeper. Just take a look at 2020, 2021, and tell me that this chart doesn't look exciting. We got Dark Defender. Engines are ready for XRP, getting back to the triangle. Road to $1.88. And with that being said, Batman and Bag Ladies, Ripple CEO confirms 100% commitment to XRP, the standard.
If anyone thinks that Ripple is not 100% behind XRP is just missing, they've lost the plot. Like, we are totally committed, and that we will remain totally committed.
Best is still yet to come. Crawl, walk, then we rock it. Let our friend know that the greatest opportunity of multiple lifetimes is still at hand, but the train's left the station. Tick-tock. TikTok. Shout out to everybody who came down to XRP Moon Party 3rd edition, Cinco de Mayo pool party. Appreciate all the love and support. We'll catch you in the next one. Where will those bags be when that regulation jar of molasses finally breaks open and XRP's true price is finally revealed?
Big bag.
Later, glitches.
Pump it up, pump it up. Pump it up, gotta pump my bags up. Pump it to the moon, pump my bags up. XRP, pump it to the moon. Pump it up, pump my bags up. Pump it up, gotta pump my bags up. Pump it up, gotta pump my bags up. Pump it up, XRP to the moon. Pump it up, pump it up. Pump it up, gotta pump my